Good morning. Today we are going to see the last topic, the very last topic of the statistic unit. It is about the standard deviation of the combined distribution. Standard deviation of the combined distribution. What is this? First of all, we'll try to understand. Standard deviation we have already seen in the previous videos, right? But that standard deviation was for the single distribution, right? We calculated the standard deviation for the single distribution, right? Those distributions used to be in the simple distribution form or in the discrete distribution form or in the continuous distribution form. So that was the single distribution. So we had one set of data and then we calculated the standard deviation. But now we are going to have more than one set of data. More than one set of data. So if we have multiple set of data, then how do we calculate the standard deviation? And that is called as the standard deviation of the combined distribution. Combined distribution means we will have more than one distribution. Is this very clear? So basically in our curriculum we have two distributions at a time. We have two set of data in the question. We have already seen in the previous video the combined mean. Combined mean. So in the previous video we learned how to find the combined mean of the combined distribution. Combined mean for the combined distribution. Combined distribution means, please remember that we are talking about more than one set of data. Clear? So we are already done with the combined mean for the combined distribution. Now we are going to look into standard deviation of a combined distribution. So we need the formula for calculating the standard deviation of a combined distribution. Now we will try to understand the formula. Once the formula is clear, then the work becomes very easy, right? So the formula we have is, you know that the standard deviation is denoted by sigma, right? So this is sigma square. That means this will give you the variance, right? This is square of the standard deviation is the variance. But here we are not interested in calculating the variance. We want only to find out the standard deviation. So from here, at the end, we will shift this square to the other side, and then we will calculate the value of sigma, and that sigma will represent your standard deviation. Hope I am clear. Now let us try to understand the formula. The formula for calculating the standard deviation will be sigma square is equal to n1 sigma square, n2 sigma square, sigma 1 square, n2 sigma 2 square, then n1 d1 square plus n2 d2 square, right? N1 is the number of data in the first set. We will have two sets of data, right? So this is for the first set of data, the total number of elements. Clear? N2 is the total number of elements in the second set of data. So N1 and N2 is very clear. Sigma 1 is the standard deviation for the one set of data. Sigma 2 is the standard deviation for the another set of data. Clear? So this is sigma 1 and sigma 2. We don't have to calculate here in this exercise. N1, N2 and sigma 1, sigma 2. These are two things which will be given to you in the question, right? We will have this in the question, so we don't need to worry about what will be the standard deviation for the one set of data and what is the standard deviation for the another set of data. This will be in the question itself. They will give it in the direct form. Now next one is N1 and D1 square. D is the deviation from the mean. Deviation from the mean. Is this very clear? Deviation from the mean. So this we need to calculate D1. Clear? This we need to calculate. So in the process, in the question, I will show you how do we calculate. Actually the deviation is calculated, you already know the formula, dx. Deviation is calculated that the data minus the mean. This is the formula for calculating the d. So we will keep this in mind, and then in the question I will show you how are we going to calculate the two deviations from the mean. So basically remember that D1 and D2 are the deviation from the mean, right? So this is the formula which is going to be very, very important for us, and this formula. Is it okay? And after this, along with this formula, we will also require the formula of the combined mean. And in the previous video, you have already seen the combined mean formula. So please don't forget, because we will be using it in finding the standard deviation of the combined mean. So just pause the video and write down this formula, and after that we are going to begin the question. Clear? Thank you. Today we are going to start with question number 10. Look at the question number 10 on the board, right? I'm going to read out the question first of all, and then we will see what we can do. Question number 10. Means and standard deviation of two distribution of 100 and 150 items are 55 and 46 respectively. So here what we understand from the first sentence, the question says that we have two set of data. In the first set of data we have 100 element. The number of the n1 value is 100, and in the another set of data we have n2 as 150. So we have the number of element in the two set of data. Clear? And then for this two set of data, we are also given the mean and the standard deviation, right? So the mean for the first data, the mean and the standard deviation for the first data is 50 and 5. And for the another set of data, we have 40 and 6. Clear? Now the question is, find the mean and the standard deviation of all the 250 items taken together. Is it all right? So now let us collect all the information. Let us write down the information. Here we have n1 as equal to 100, n2 is 150. Clear? Now we have the mean. We have the mean and the standard deviation. We have the mean and the standard deviation. The mean is x1 is 50, x1 is 50, and the mean for this set of data is equal to 40. Now the standard deviation for this one, that is sigma 1, is equal to 5, and the standard deviation for this one, for the another set of data, is 6. So we have this information. We are given this information, and the question is to find out the combined mean and also the standard deviation of the combined distribution. So two things we have to find out. We have to find out first of all the mean, which we will call as combined mean, because we have two set of data, and we will then calculate the standard deviation. So let us calculate first of all the combined mean. For combined mean, you already know the formula. Clear? So the combined mean formula is x mean is equal to n1 x1 plus n2 x2 divided by n1 plus n2. Please be mindful, here we are asked to calculate both combined mean and the standard deviation. So first of all, we are calculating combined mean. Combined mean we have already seen in the previous exercise, in the previous video, right? So we will calculate it because all the information for this formula is given directly here. So the first two rows will give you the answer. So 100 into 50 plus 150 into 40 divided by 100 plus 150. Clear? Now this is 5000 and this is 50 for the 66,000 divided by 150. This is 11,000 divided by 150. Is this very clear? So we can put the value. Now we have already done it. Now we can simplify and get the answer. So your combined mean is coming equal to 44. So this is the one part of question done. Is this alright? Now we are moving on to the standard deviation. Now this is standard deviation. You will have to do some exercise because the formula is what? Let us write down the formula once again. Standard deviation, the formula is, you have already written, sigma square is equal to n1 sigma square plus n2 sigma 2 square, then n1 d1 square, then n2 d2 square, and then divided by n1 plus n2. This is just to remind you that what is the formula for the standard deviation. So we will use this formula and we can calculate the standard deviation. Now look here, if you look at the information you have, no, you have the value of n1, you have the value of sigma 1, you have the value of n2, sigma 2, n1, n2, n1, n2, right? We have all this value, but then what is not given is the d1 and d2. Is this very clear? So first of all, we will find out this d1 and d2. Only after finding this d1 and d2, we will be in the position to use this formula. Right? I wrote this formula just to show you once again. Am I very clear? So, we are now first of all going to work out to calculate the value of d1 and d2. Right? So, let me delete this formula. Okay? Because the space is very, very limited. So, first of all, we are calculating d1. What I told you is the d1 is the deviation from the mean. Right? So, d1 is for, we are calculating for the first set of data where the data is x. So, we will write this as x1 mean minus x. Is this okay? So, using this formula, we are, see, just check it. See this very carefully. How are we calculating the deviation from the mean? Right? You have already calculated the mean. Combined mean. Combined mean you have calculated as equal to 44. So, the value of your this x combined mean is 44. And x1 mean means already you have in the question. So, very easily we can calculate. This is 50 minus 44. 50 minus 44. And this is equal to 6. Done? Likewise, we will calculate the value of d2. d2 will be calculated. Now, this is for the second set of data. So, this will become the mean of the second set of data minus the combined mean. Clear? This one. So, this time now it will be how much? 40 minus 44. 40 minus 44 is equal to 4. Is this well understood? Done. Now we have calculated the value of d1 and d2. Now we have all the we got all the information to use the formula. So now I am not going to write the formula because you already have. So keep that formula in your mind and let us join with me to see how I punch it in the formula and how I calculate. So here sigma square is equal to n1 into sigma 1 square, that is 5 square, plus n2 into sigma 2 square, that is 6 square. Then again n1 into d1 square, that is 6 square, plus n2 into d2 square. d2 is negative 4, so negative 4 square, divided by 100 plus 150. Now, simplify. 100 into 25 plus 150 into 36 plus 100 into 36, and this is 150 into 16. Positive, this will become positive, and this is due to 250. Now let us calculate. This is 25, 100. 100 into 25 is 2500. Then 150 into 36 is 5400. Then 100 into 36 is 3600. And 150 into 16 is 2400 divided by 250. divided by 250 is equal to, now we can add all this. So the sum of this all will come how much? 0, 0, right? Then 4, 6, 10, and for 14, 14, 5, 19, carry 1, 2 and 3, 3, 6, 6, 5, 11, 2, 13. 13,900 divided by 250. Is this very clear? Now we have to divide this. We will divide, and then the quotient is coming as equal to 55.6. So the value of sigma square is coming 55.6. So now we can find out the value of sigma. For finding the value of sigma, what we can do is this square will go to the right hand side. So 55.6 is equal to, now the final answer will come 7.46. So this becomes the combined, the standard deviation of the combined, standard deviation for the combined distribution. Am I very clear? Thank you. In the previous question, question number 10, what you have noticed is there were two things in the question, right? The question asked us to find out what? Combined mean. Question asks us to calculate combined mean and standard deviation. Combined mean and standard deviation. But most of the time, they will ask us only to find out the standard deviation. Clear? Again, I am repeating. In the previous question, they asked us to calculate two things, combined mean and standard deviation. But in most of the question, they will ask us only to find out the standard deviation of the combined distribution. But please be very mindful. Even if the question is only to calculate the standard deviation of the combined distribution, you will have to calculate the combined mean. Because without having the combined mean, you will not be able to calculate the value of D1 and D2. And therefore, even if the question is only to calculate the standard deviation of the combined distribution, you have to first of all calculate the combined mean, and only then we can find out the standard deviation. Is this very clear? So with this, now we are moving on to question number 11. So look at the question on the board, and then I am going to read out the question, because I also need to face the question. Question number 11. For a group of 50 meal workers, the mean and the standard deviation of their weekly wages are 63 and 9 respectively. Look here. Further, the first is the group of men, right? In this first group, we have total 50 male. That means the value of N1 is 50, for which the mean and the standard deviation are given. The mean is given 63 and the standard deviation is given as 6. Next part, next group. For a group of 40 female workers, there are 54 and 6 respectively. That means the N1 value is 40 and the mean, right? The mean is 54 and the standard deviation for that particular group is 6. Now the question is, find the standard deviation of the weekly wages for the combined group of 90 workers. Hope the question is very clear. Hope the question is clear. So let us first of all collect the informations that we have. First is the number of men, which is equal to, number of men is 50, right? And for this, the mean is given as equal to, x1 is given as equal to 63, and the standard deviation for this one is given as equal to 9. We have another group of 40 women, so N2 is equal to 40, and the mean of this group is 54, and the standard deviation of this one, this is sigma 1, this is sigma 2, is equal to 6. Is it alright? Now we have to find out the standard deviation. So directly the question is to find out the standard deviation. But as I told you, even if the question is only to find out the standard deviation, also you have to first of all calculate what? Tell me what? Combined mean. So let us calculate the combined mean. X mean is equal to, you know the formula now. So I am not going to write the formula, right? So 50 into 63 plus 40 into 54 divided by 50 plus 40. So 63 into 50 is equal to 3150. 3150. And 54 into 40 is 2160. 2160 divided by 90. So sum of these two is equal to 5310. 5310 divided by 90, and calculate the value of combined mean is coming as equal to 59. So now we are done with the combined mean, right? Now why are we calculating this combined mean also you have to know, right? The purpose of calculating this combined mean is so that we can calculate the value of deviation from the mean. Deviation from the mean, that is the value of D1 and D2. So we are now going to calculate D1. D1 is x1 mean minus combined mean is equal to, this is 63, this is minus 59. So this will come 4. And now D2 is equal to x2 mean minus x mean is equal to, x2 mean is, okay, this is 54 minus 59 is equal to minus 5. Am I very clear? Is it very clear? Okay. Now we are going to start finding the standard deviation of the combined distribution. So the formula is sigma square is equal to n1 50 into sigma 1. Sigma 1 square, that is 9 square. Then n2 40 into sigma 2 square, that is 6 square, plus n1 into d1 square. n1 is 50 sigma 1 square, d1 square is 4 square, plus n2, that is 40 into d2 square, that is minus 5 square, and then divided by n1 plus n2, that is 50 plus 40. Alright, now we'll continue the calculation. Sigma square is equal to 9 square 81, and then 50 into 81 plus 36 into 40, 36 into 40 plus 16 into 50, 50 into 16 plus 40 into 25, 40 into 25 divided by 90. Am I very clear? So start calculating. 81 into 50, 4050 plus 36 fours are, right, 1440. This is 60 50s are 800 plus 25 fours are, this is 1000. 1000 divided by 90 is equal to now calculate and then divided by 90. So 0, then 459, right? Then this is 8, 4, 12, 2, carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 divided by 90. Okay, now we can divide and check using the calculator. 7290 divided by 90. Okay, so this is coming as equal to 81. That means sigma square is equal to 81. So what will be sigma? Sigma will be root over 81 is equal to 9. So this is the standard deviation of your combined distribution. So are you finding it difficult? Hope are you not? Hope I feel that you will find difficulty because the question is not very difficult, right? Just you have to remember that for finding the combined standard deviation, you have to first of all find out the combined mean, and then you have to find out the deviation from the mean, that is the value of d1 and d2, and you can use it in the formula and calculate. You will get the standard deviation for your combined distribution. Clear? So we'll have one more question. Thank you. Let us take one more question of for calculating the standard deviation of combined distribution, and that will be the last question, question number 12. Question number 12. So look at the board, and then I'm going to read out question number 12. There is a table given. Can you see that? There are two groups in this question, group 1 and group 2. This group name is not important for us. What is important is the mean and the standard deviation. So the mean for the two groups are given, and the standard deviation also is given. Clear? Now the question says what? The mean and the standard deviation of the marks obtained by two group of students consisting of 50 each. Wow. Here all the informations are given. There are two groups, and then in each group we have 50 students, and then for those two groups we are already given the mean and the standard deviation. I don't need to read out also. What we have to do is calculate the mean. This mean means combined mean, and also the standard deviation of the marks obtained by all the 100 students. So this is going to be a very, very simple question, a same question, right? So even if I don't do this question also, you can do this question by yourself, but yet for the first set we have the number n1 is equal to 50, right? And for this group we are given the mean x1 as equal to 60, and the standard deviation is given as equal to 8. Another group n2, here also the number of students is same 50, and then the mean of this group is given as equal to 55, and the standard deviation for this group is given as equal to 7, right? So all this information. Now we have to find out the mean as well as the standard deviation. We have to find out the mean and the standard deviation. So find out this time. First of all, combine mean. X mean is equal to n1 x1, 50 into 60 plus 50 into 55, n1 into x1, n2 into x2 divided by n1 plus n2, that is 50 plus 50. This is next, this is 3000, this is 3000, and this is 2750 divided by 100, and this is equal to 5750 divided by 100. Therefore your mean is coming how much? Very simple. This is a decimal fraction. 57.50 is the combined mean. Clear? Now we have to find out the standard deviation. Again I am repeating, if this is not a question also we have to find out, right? Because the purpose is to calculate the value of deviation from the mean. So let us calculate d1. d1 is x1 mean minus the combined mean, that is, this is 60 minus 57.5, that is 2.5. Next, d2 is x1 x2 mean and then x mean is equal to, this is 55 minus 57.5 is equal to negative 2.5. So this is calculated. We can now finally calculate the combined mean, standard deviation. sigma square is equal to n1 sigma square. N1, that is 50 into sigma square, sigma 1 square is 8 square, plus n2 50 into sigma 2 square 7 square, plus n1 into d1 square 2.5 square, 2.5 square, plus n2 and d2 square, that is negative 2.5 square, divided by n1 plus n2, that is 50 plus 50 is equal to 64. Now we can simplify this part, right? So this is 50 into 64 plus 50 into 49 plus 50 into 6.25, and then plus 50, this also will be into 6.25. You know why? Because this is negative, but it will become positive because the power is even number, and then divided by 100 is equal to, now 64 into 50, 3200, 3200, 49 into 50, 2450, plus 6.25 into 50 is 312.5, and so this also will be same 312.5 divided by, once again, 100. Is this very clear? So dividing this all and then adding all and then dividing by 100, directly I am giving the value. This is coming as equal to 62.75 because I have less space, and then so this will become the value of a sigma square, and then from there we can find out the standard deviation. So sigma is equal to root over 62.75, and then finally answer is 7.92. That's all. So this is the end of your statistics. Alright, I would like to say that class 11A and 11B, all the students so far have been responding very good, right? Most of you have always submitted assignment on time. You are doing it very neat and clean, so it's very good. But there are 2 students from 11A and then 2 students from 11B who are not very active. They are doing it. Of course, they are also taking part. I am not saying that they are not taking part. They are taking part, but then they need to improve. Is this very clear? So after this exercise, after this video, now we are left with only one unit of class 11 syllabus, and that is coordinate geometry. So from tomorrow, from the next day, we will have coordinate geometry. So with this, thank you so much for watching the video. Enjoy learning maths. Take full advantage of this video class, because all the hard work is only and only for you students. Thank you so much.